Hello, welcome back to RC3D. This is a video on my weathering techniques for the Red Hood Outlaw mask. This is the same as the one that you may have saw in my other video. If I try and get that in there. I have used a slightly brighter red on this one, but it shouldn't make a difference once I've completed the weathering. If I show you here. I've already passed this once with a coat of dark brown, black acrylic mixed with some water that I have here in a brush. I'm just going to show you what I did, because this may need another one or two passes, but it brings out all the detail, the lines, and it's also really good for hiding imperfections in prints, because you can, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, but you can hide imperfections by making it look like damage. Yeah, hopefully you can see that okay. I'm going to let that sit and dry for a minute, and I will catch you again in a minute. I'll let it sit for a few minutes, so most of that should be quite dry now. There's a little bit of sort of wet areas where I put it on a little bit thicker up here. What I'm going to do now is show you the first step to my two-step technique to getting damage. It looks a lot better. A lot of people just come in, right, with a dry brush and they just go to town on it with silver and just scuff away, dry brushing with the silver. We are going to do that, but something a little bit less. But I've got a technique that makes the silver sort of stand out a lot more. So just trying my brush. I'm not going to use this one at the minute. I'm just going to set that aside. But I have this little one. This was a long brush. I've cut the bristles off, so it's really short. But yeah, so I get more of a sort of a dabbing effect with this. So I'm going to get a little bit of black acrylic. I'm going to wipe most of that excess off and then just test it that I can dab it. So I'm going to look for areas that I'm not happy with. Like here, there's like a scuff from something, and I'm just going to dab over the top and create like this line. Okay, maybe a little bit more acrylic there, and just dab it on. There we go. A little bit more, and there we go. First bit there, sort of start on our damage. We're looking okay around here. I'm going to put a little bit around the bottom here where the supports were on the print. There we go, let's put that in there. This will all make sense when I start on the silver. let that black dry for a minute, and I'll be right back. Right, so I thought I'd do another shot of the detail that I just did on here, just while it's drying. So you see the scuff mark I did in there, and a little bit of black just around the edge there, where it kind of looks like the paint's been like burnt off. We're going to go in there with a bit of silver in a minute, and across the nose, and around the back there, and underneath the chin. So yeah, this Red Hood's definitely been fighting in Gotham, and it's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So I just move that aside just while that's drying. Have another look at this one, and you can see now where I went in with the scuffing, and then I went over the top with some silver, and it gives you that damage. And the randomness of the brush when you put it on the black just lets you go on with the silver in sort of like a random way, and it gives you that depth. So back with the silver, I got this metallic, well, it says Deco Art Dazzling Metallics. I just got this off Amazon. It was about, I don't know, it was like $5 or something, but I use this on everything. Okay, so just give it a shake, and I'm going to put a little bit in my tray, like so, and then this is where we're going to go in with a little bit of dry brushing, just on those black scuffs that I did. Okay, and I'm just going to get a little bit on the end there, and wipe a little bit off. I don't want to wipe off too much, because you want the silver to be quite prominent. So I'm going to go with this bit first, because this is the first bit that I did before, and then just kind of going over like a random line. Don't have to be that neat. Get a little bit more silver on there, but yeah. So if you use the thicker, not thicker, thinner bristles, like a thinner brush, you don't want a too thick brush, because it needs to come into like a point, and then kind of just drag it across like so. And then if I go across here, because of the direction of that, let's wipe that off, go down here and then across there, there. But just tap it on there lightly, and you get that depth. I'm going to bring it in just down here just a little bit more. That's it. And you get that. Maybe wipe a bit of that off with my thumb. You're okay with this, it's quite forgiving, it doesn't dry really fast. But yeah, any areas that you're not too happy with, you can just go over with another dark wash. That'll bring the silver back if you think it's too shiny, but it'll also add some grime into the silver, which I might do toward the end of this video. So I'm just going to hit that there, and again just bring it down just lightly. You can see I've gone there, and then across the top. probably use a little bit more around here. So I'm going to get a little bit of black, not much, on the big brush, and I'm going to dab around these holes, because these are like the respirator parts. So they're going to get a bit grimy. Go around these holes, maybe go inside them a little bit. Again around this side. Let's get in there, don't worry if you put too much on. I'm going to pull that back a little bit in a second. Put my black over here, my brush, and then I'm just going to dab it a little bit. This isn't mixed with any water, so it's going to dry quite quickly. There we go. And then on that side, there we are. So yeah, the next bit I'm going to do probably a little bit more silver, not too much, wipe that off, and then just come up the edge with some of these parts. See, I love weathering. That's the best part, in my opinion, of making props, because it does tell the story, and it brings the piece to life. It goes from just a piece of random plastic to looking like it's got a little bit of weight to it, and it tells a story of the character that it is. So yeah, this could probably do with a little bit more of a dark wash, especially around the top of the mask, but this is an example just to help you out with your masks, helmets, you know, cosplays, on to get a result similar to that. So I hope this has been useful to you. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out and it helps you out to keep you up to date with future videos, tutorials and builds. So yeah, cheers and take care.